So thank you everybody for showing up to this November 25th, Monday, LegalShield and Fieldnotes webinar. Today, I wanted to show you guys a website that I came across of, and I guess I would leave it up to you guys how you would want to use it, but birthdays, right? Instead of just sending, hey, happy birthday. I guess it's special to be acknowledged on your birthday, so I won't say that you know, that's not worth it, but what if you had something that you could give them, right? So I don't know how I found this site, but I found it, and I think that's what counts. But it is this, hey, it's free.net birthday free. Now, I didn't write up any type of email or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure one could word it nicely to where, hey, I thought of you and I came across this site and I just wanted to share with you, see if you can take advantage of any of those birthday kind of gifts. Like, I don't know this store. I don't know. Well, I do know Adidas. I know Ace Hardware, A&W. I don't know if you have any of those places near you, but yeah, I would roll up for my free root beer float. Haven't had one of those in years. Going to the theaters, watching a movie, get some free popcorn. They had a bunch of different type of clothing brands, and where you get a couple dollars off. Andy's frozen custard. I didn't know about this one. That seems interesting. So this would be a good website that you guys could, put in there. I don't think a lot of people know about it if I just walked across it, but there's like a really, really long list. Burger King, what is Burger King? Double bonus points, spend $1 during your birthday month. I guess that points. Carl's Jr., you get free chocolate cake. Sign me up. But I put it in the chat, so you guys are welcome to grab that. But I thought this was pretty cool. Chipotle, free chips, guac with a $5 purchase. That's pretty cool. Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know if you guys are going to be going to Chuck E. Cheese. Bill, you look like a Chuck E. Cheeser. But, Costa Vida. That's close. That's interesting. That'll make me Google them. But yeah, CVS, get a couple of things off. But this list, as you can see, is pretty extensive. And so if you shared that with somebody and they're, I don't know, frugal as me, I would definitely be like lining up some stuff. Popeye's chicken, free apple pie dessert. That's not bad. Reebok, Red Robin. I don't know how many. Is Red Robin even still around? I thought I heard that. No,
Oh no, Red Robin is alive and well in Washington. It's where it
really?
started.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's where I remember it. But was it Red Lobster that they started to close all the doors, or I heard something?
No, that's still open here too.
Really? Okay. Well, and what's that one fish and chips joints? Is that Skipper's?
Yeah, those are pretty well gone.
Those are pretty.
I've
Oh,
seen all the ones that I know of that were in our area are long gone.
Grandpa used to take me to those places. That was kind of like his go-to. He would always like say, "Hey, get in the truck. We're going to Skipper's." And I would. There's not too many things in this life that I would run for, so that was one of them, especially as a little kid. But yeah, so this would probably good. There's a bunch of best freebies. This could not only I could see this working for other other things other than birthdays, but something for you guys to like if you wanted to give one that was specific in your area, or if you know that somebody might like, I guess that would be a little bit too much to kind of custom and go through it. But dropping this website on people, just saying, hey, if you haven't checked out this website, I mean, if people can, take your word for it and then they appreciate it, I would assume they would feel somewhat
I think
in,
I think
uh
the way I would use it myself, Jeremy, is like you're saying, I reset my birthday message at the end of the year so that I'm not sending out the same one every year.
hmm
When I do that, I think I'd pick like 3 items, and that'd be the items for 2025. And then in 2026, pick 3 different ones rather than send all of this. That
right.
at least would be the way I think I would handle.
It's definitely so when I started to go through it, like I didn't really see like really big name or like big gifts, you know what I mean? It was usually like $5. In some cases you have to spend money. But like these free ones, like, hey, just telling people, hey, on your birthday at Taco Bell, you can get a free, you know what I mean? Like making it interesting,
Mhm.
right?
Yep,
I think
yep.
I think that's the point that I'm trying to make. And this doesn't cost anybody just to spend a little bit of time. Maybe you have a good idea, kind of comb through this and really kind of see what's in your area that somebody might, you know what I mean, take
Mhm.
advantage of.
Yep.
But like these Home Depot ones, no birthday field, but like some of these are across the nation, and since some of you guys have not just to your state. You guys have people outside of state. This was just something that I came across and said, you know what? I think people might, you get a free Whataburger Jr., but free corn dog. Who doesn't want a free corn dog? So yeah, so that was something that I thought of. And then with last week discussing some things with some people, I wanted to essentially ask everybody, what are some things beginner that I can show you that you guys have been struggling on? Whether if it's, you know what I mean, anything that I can show a little tutorial about, speak about, but that was something in which I think somebody had a simple question, which I don't think any question is dumb or stupid. In fact, if anybody has any of what they think would be a dumb question, I would love to. Oh, now that Rick's on the call, I do want to show Rick something.
Wait a minute. Now, that's not very nice to say, we're
But
trying to
I
come up
mean,
with dumb questions. Oh, good. Rick's on the line.
no,
That's
no, no.
really not a good transition at all.
No, I definitely I have problems with transition, and so bear with me. But
I'm,
I know
I'm,
Rick.
I'm trying to help you here, Rick, but I don't know that I'm helping very much.
I know Rick's gonna like this, and I don't know if Rick has noticed it. And if he has noticed it, then I guess this is gonna go to waste. But have you seen the build the contact form lately?
No, I have not.
Well, then, am I sharing? Yes, I'm going to. Ta-da! So what is this? You likes? You like. So now you can actually create a new contact form, call it your lead magnet name, right? And then you can go back to it so that you don't have to do what you did, which was, copy the code, most likely save it off into somewhere else. And then when you had to go in to make adjustments, you had to be Bill Nye the Science Guy and get into it and then do the find and then put what you were looking for, like referral source, and then go find where it says referral source, and then like literally go in there and change the code. Which, not that I don't think other people here would be able to do that, but if I was a gambling man, I would most likely gamble that they were not going to take that and probably just start from scratch. Which I don't want to say it's a pain in the butt, but if you could spend quite a bit of time going through this and styling it the way that you want. And if you do not have any code experience, you're most likely not going to be able to, adjust it the way that you would like. And so the developers never told me, hey, this went through. I just remember at some point I said, hey, can we do this? Because not only does our team have that same issue where we had to, now what I heard from our team is that they would go through and then just create it from scratch again, which is totally a pain in the butt. But now we've got to where you can, so if you're using these for lead magnets, if you're using them to simply just host one of these pages, like on a Google Sites for just to have it free, or if you have, access to a website and you can create a page and then have a contact form and then use that contact form for people to get into your CRM, right? So if you want to take somebody's information down, you could just have that site favorited on your iPhone or on your device, and then just say, hey, here, put in your information, hit submit, and then that goes right into your CRM, and then you could have some type of action plan trigger because of any of these, and then bada bing, bada boom, somebody's in your CRM. You didn't have to write anything down, and so for the ones that don't use these forms, it's never too late to start using them. And now that you can do this, you can save them all. And then always, if you needed to go back into to adjust it, to add a field, change any type of redirect, you can do that. Any of these categories, things like that.
This is terrific, Jeremy. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's those are the words that I just wake up every morning just to hear those words. So that's fine. I know you're going to be a happy camper with this, but because if there's anybody that uses this, it's you. And I think you were the one that kind of highlighted the pain.
Yeah, this was a suggestion from a long time ago. So
yeah, and I really can't put my finger on when they did this because I think I was just showing somebody and then I was like, yeah, here you can go to this. And I was like, these guys do. And then when I saw they did all of this stuff, I was more than ecstatic because for little to no knowledge, right, with coding and how to deal with HTML and all that kind of stuff, I didn't see anybody manipulating, and you pretty much were the only one that was manipulating them and having a hard time. So I figured this will hopefully give other people a little bit of ease to get into this and to use these, because there's a lot of PDFs that you can use as carrots, right, to attract people to get into your CRM, to begin to maybe think about, setting up a will. And then, hey, by the way, Legal Shield will do it for you, right? And it's just an easy click away and affordable. And so that is something that I wanted to show. And then I guess now we can transition into the questions that anybody might have, be it simple, what are some of the things that you guys have as a roadblock to kind of, is it your categories? Do people know where to adjust them? Because you can adjust them here by actually changing the name of the category, or you can actually go to your manage items and change them there. And then so does anybody have any questions in which we can get into a can of worms and see how I can help you guys possibly get past your roadblocks? Anything
I,
with
I've
Mhm.
I've got one for you, Jeremy. I'm not sure about the others. I don't want to dominate.
Oh,
Since I already got special treatment, and I know I'm sorry, Bob. I'm special.
I'll get an email later.
I
But
remember
back
when he used to like me, Rick. I have a
yeah,
very faint memory though.
yeah, that was I can remember that.
I
I
don't
think I
have
wrote
favorites.
down
I don't have favorites. All my children are my children. I
Yeah,
accept them
right.
all equally.
Yeah. You
the
can't blind him with brilliance, baffle him with bullshit. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
yes.
that's can I get a banner of that? Because I think I'll put that on my truck.
Yeah. Back with the forms, the creation tool and the ability to save them now,
Mhm.
is it all still the same exact same fields that they've exposed to be able to use, or has that changed somewhat? Like for example, could I use spheres as opposed to the plans or anything like that, or is that all exactly the same? I can just save it, which is tremendous in and of itself, but I'm just
Yes,
wondering if
it
there's any
is.
ability to manipulate.
It is the same. And to my knowledge, some of these things aren't developed in-house. So some of those things make it a little bit difficult to like do some extra stuff. So
Hmm.
the form in itself is 100% the same form. The feature that they
Okay.
added was this basically where we can create and save those forms and give them
Give it a name, save
so
the
that we can,
settings.
yep, so
So,
that we can
which
go
was
back and
always
check.
possible in Facebook, but was not possible for a form that you're going to put on
A
another third-party
website.
site.
Yep.
So that's good.
So yeah, so I would have to open up that can of worms because these fields like these proper this is so it's still unique to like real estate. However, you can go into here and if you toggle this, you can switch this little name out to by just editing this name, whatever you wanted to make it. However, these fields, if I'm not correct, they hold numbers. And so when you preview them, there there's these little but I know that if you, with this message field, I know if you grab the code and put it in place of this, then this will then all of a sudden be that message code. But that's where, depending on how much you play around with it, it might break it. But that's something that I need to open up a can of worms with them. But if this is already pre-packaged from another, service that they have, so this thing I think is third party. The email tool when email, let me show you that. That's also third party. So all of these kind of all of these options, right? Not much that we can do to change as much as I hate them and how simple it looks. And
Hmm.
now by using them, I'm still able to simulate some Canva-ish type of, placing and then the forms and things like that. So, but for me to get to that level, I've had to like literally play around with it and hit every option and just do one option at a time, see the difference that it makes, Google it and kind of see what I could do to and how it works, right, with text and just strictly play around with it. So that's how I've developed my skills with it, which I'm not going to say everybody's going to kind of go through that, but I wished this would be a little bit different, or we could, you know, bring some more tools in that allow us to do a bunch of stuff. But so far, it is what it is. However, um, I've tried to do my best to see what they do, but it's a third party. So there's some things like this that we can't really kind of touch. And I think that forms is one of them. The emails is one of them. And I'm trying to think what else. I think the text messaging one as well. And that's also based on the type of service. So we don't do the multimedia messages and that kind of stuff. And if we did, it would cost more because those messages are different. So yeah, so with that said, those are some of the things that we can't, but I will I will see if they can make that form a little bit more for us and then possibly maybe give us some more access to some of these fields to where we can pick. Is it that you want to use the plans offer chosen, which I think this is groups,
Yeah,
and then
plans offer
spheres.
chosen is there, but the spheres is not. And
Right.
so it basically what it does is it forces you to
Put those options in.
you put options in the plans chosen that don't make sense to be there. So not a
Well,
big deal, but
I've had a bunch of like conversations with people, and we've always discussed, and they always get a little bit confused to the title plans offered chosen and then spheres. So like with the real estate, this will show up as group and spheres. I've also seen people that have tags and badges, right? So at the end of the day, these are the same thing. I know plans offered chosen is titled for plans, whether you're offering the plans or whether they've chosen the plans. So I think that that's a perfect, worst case, or that's a perfect case for you guys to name it that. So I don't have too much of a problem. But you can put other tags, badges, spheres there as well. Now there is something else there's two new things that they're trying to work on. Now I want them to basically give us kind of like a folder system with these views so that let's say Rick, right? Rick uses it for many different things, but I want to give a prospect folder. And then in the prospect folder, you'll have all your views, hopefully related to just prospect. And then if you had, let's say, servicing, so these are all the people that have come aboard, they're members, right? Servicing folder. And then you can have your groups. You can have just the members. You could have whether if it's just your associates, right? So now you can then have, I think it would get a little bit more dynamic in the sense of having these folders because this is mine and I just have a couple. But I know for some people, they've got a whole, like you could scroll 2 or 3 times on the wheel and they're still within their folders. You know what I'm saying? So I feel it's not counterproductive, but if you're trying to look for the ones that you want, I mean, I know we know the tricks about putting special characters to make those go to the front, that kind of stuff. But what if we had these major folders that we could then put all of these? I think you would have just a handful of set of folders, and then within those folders, you could have a crap load of views.
Well, Jeremy, I think more, at least for me, more importantly, is that you could categorize different organizations. So I've got contact lists in here for my church. I've got contact lists in here for my condominium complex. I've got probably 12, grabbing a number, somewhere around 12 different organizations that I've got contacts for. And within those organizations have anywhere from 2 to 8 or 10 different contact groupings. So being able to go to just the church folder and have nothing in there but the board of the church, the members of the church, the whatever, would just simplify things instead of having to go down the line that you're showing right here, which is the way it currently works. So
or
that
having to
would be good.
create church as like your main, right, and then doing kind of like a one of these so that all of your church groups
Right.
together, that still puts 12 things in church, 12 things in, and it's still one long list. Like I guess it's a little bit, you can still organize it, but I was just like, is there anything we can do? Because if I'm already up to my ears with all of these, and then I've gone into other people's and I've just seen, like, so I helped somebody, right, create theirs, and they had all of their groups, so they had all their groups in one, but then they wanted to have all the groups to where they could just click the group and the group would show up. And that's a simple view just by going off of the group number. Everybody with that group number is going to show. And so he had 50 groups. So what did that turn this into? 50 different things that I would just love to put in group accounts under that folder and know that that is where that is. And then if he had any other, need for other different types of groups, well, then it would have like a main folder, and then it would have all your views. And I think that could help you guys a lot with going through all the buckets that you need to go through. Like, Rick, I got to work on my prospects, but at the same time, I got to stay on top of all my other connections that I have that have nothing to do with prospecting. It's just stuff that I need to stay on top of. And so that's coming down the line. Now, with that said, I've also said, can we do the same with the spheres and the groups or the plans offered chosen? Because wouldn't it be great for you to have all your plans offered chosen just in one chunk, and then it would make these a little bit more to where, like, I have somebody here, not to say any names, but you could literally, when you get to just the plans offer chosen, it's like squeals, real, like it's like 3 or 4 wheels just to get through the plans offer chosen. And then what she did by accident, oops, I guess I kind of whittled it down to a female, and then when her other spheres, I saw almost exactly variations of those. So she would have the full name here, but then she would have the abbreviated name here. And she doesn't know why not everything is under the one same sphere. And it's because we've got 3, 4 spheres with the same thing. So instead of searching and going, oh, do I have a sphere for that? She just creates a new one and then adds it. And, that causes its own set of problems. But if you had more organization with this, and you could say, okay, my prospecting spheres are this. This is what I use when it comes to prospecting. These are the spheres that I add, and these are the ones that need to get applied. And I hope that that might make things that much more easier, organized, so that you guys don't copy new things and just put them here and then put them down here. And so in regards to just this title, you guys could change it. If the wording messes with you, right? You just go to here, and then you go find your, where is it? Here you go. And then you can just basically edit this. And you do have to save after any time you edit something, you do have to save, because I have edited 10 different things, and I thought with just hitting one save did it all. And then I hit close, and that was the only thing that saved. So please don't do what I did. But yeah, so this is just a name, you know what I mean? And this is a name that you guys, I think, I would have to say, like Jackie Johnson Keck in the beginning kind of came up with. And so, but yeah, those are some things that are coming down the line, which I know they're developing, and they have yet to show me. They showed me like a screenshot of what it's going to kind of look like, and it looks promising, especially the way that that the screenshots, it looks exactly that they understood exactly the task at hand. And so that'll be good for you guys later on to organize your stages and all your different views, and then to have it just be more organized. I think that's going to help everybody, because this can't get overwhelming, but this definitely can get overwhelming, right? With all these different categories, this can get out of control. And then when you're trying to do your views, this will get definitely out of control. And so I think that's going to help. But yeah, so that's what I had. Is there any other questions that anybody might have that they would like to evacuate some doubts? Anything that's blocking, that's kind of prohibited you to move forward, whether if it's templates, whether if it's adding contact. I don't know. Everybody loves to talk about triggers and action plans, but I just wanted to basically hear if anybody had any issues with.
Jeremy,
Yes, Janet.
what I'm going to do is ask you a question that I know probably plucks your nerve, but I'm going through my notes as you're teaching, trying to find the Vimeo link. So, because I can't find it on this computer.
Sure.
So I don't know. I saved it on another Google Doc. Just all I wanted is just the that
Address.
link. Yeah, the Vimeo for us. So since I'm off this week and allow time on my hands, I'm gonna go back and do some reviewing.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
Rick, you beat me to it. So there
thank you,
go.
thank you.
Yep. They now I think we've got the developer misunderstood text instructions, and he like started only putting 15 minutes of the videos, in which I do like hours of content worth, and then so he fixed those. So now they're the days that they're no longer 15-minute videos. It's basically everything. And then, oh no, it doesn't. But yeah, so this has a bunch. I've yet to go through this and turn this into something kind of where instead of having to go through them and see which one, because now we have 22 pages of close to almost 260 videos. That is crazy. I probably should take all the old stuff out, remove Keck from the history of legal shit. See how he likes that one. He already gets bothered that he says, well, if you ever need me to come in and say hi, and I was like, no, you don't need to come say.
Do like the old pharaohs used to do and erase them from all the pillars of
Absolutely.
history.
Exactly. Just there's no Keck here. So, but yeah, no, he
Pharaoh
always mentioned
Jeremy.
exactly. And then he's also so busy, anyways. I did, and then when he said that this is my little baby, I really took it to heart. You know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully, there's a lot of content. There's a lot of content in this thing. So if it's any benefit to anybody, then I don't know if anybody knows about the training videos, but there's these videos that are in Fieldnotes as well on our YouTube. Now they're just like I did them with the same, I think I did them with the real estate, whatchamacallit,
Real estate interface.
with the real estate one, but I mean, it's the same thing when it comes to, you just see some options are obviously more real estate opposed to LegalShield, but this huge overview goes through basically all of the points of the CRM. And then if you're talking about creating a signature, if it's about adding manual contacts, putting them in bulk, doing like a mass edit, these can also help you guys if you just need something that's more technical. So I'll throw that in the in what is it, chat for you guys to review if you ever need. And then there was some new things. I don't know if anybody got the email, but when it comes to linking contacts, there is some new options that you guys can pick. This came from, I think it was third-party administrator Bill Butkovich, corporate support. I think that was Cassie and Kathy. And then so if you guys feel that there's maybe something that you could add to this list because it's common, but you don't see it here for you, it's just a matter of sending me an email with what it is, and then I will get it in line for them to add that. And then what was the other thing that they did? If I'm trying to remember. Oh, I don't know if anybody has had an issue. This has recently came up with Cassie Prinky. Cassie Prinky had somebody that wasn't getting emails, and they weren't getting emails because he accidentally unsubscribed from communication. So if anybody did not know, what's the procedure is this would be marked as do not email. It would be in red. All you have to do is undo it so that it looks gray like that, and then send them out an email, and then basically just say, hey, did you get it? And if they got it, then you can basically say, okay, it's back on. For the telephone one, that one they do need to send a text message subscribe to the phone number in question that you have linked. So if you go to settings, you'll see that if you've selected a phone number up at the top, here is where you will essentially, this will say grab one, but your phone number would be right here. And all they have to do is send a text message to that saying subscribe. That should that should let the third party know internally that that person does want to. And then I think if you still see the little red dot, I apologize. If you see the little red dot here, if you see this mark do not call, all it would be is to undo that and then send a text message once you've received, and you'll see that message show up here as well. So that should be the indicator in which now you can begin to send text message to that person. And so, and that's something that I think I've gone through. Not sure if there's anything else that I've had problems with. That we got a new person sign up, so that's kind of new. I don't think she showed up today. Nope, she hasn't. But we might see a new face. And you know what? Somebody else, just a story to tell. She had, I think it was Cassie Prinky was the one that sent her over. And her question was, well, not really her question, but she was like, can this help with retention? And I was like, well, to my knowledge, that's what that welcome email is all about. And that's what that consistent kind of communication about how to use your service, and staying always reminding them, like when what is it, the National Month for Doing Your Will, all of those little events, kind of engaging that way, I feel does a really good job and helps people know what services, and then hopefully those things happen and they're recent and they can kind of remind, oh, I got pulled over. Oh, I have this contract from the landlord that they want to switch things up on us and I'm not too good with contracts. Let me see if they can review, things like that. Hopefully it's those types of little reminders that get them to remind themselves, oh, I can actually use my legal shield. And if they do, well, then of course, I would see them most likely wanting to keep the service because they have access to this kind of stuff. And then um, but her story was that she did everything to basically go to an event. I think it was Jamaica, right? But because her retention was not so well, she got kicked out. Like she didn't get to go. You know what I mean? And I would assume like that would piss me be off, beyond belief. You know what I mean? Like I'd be super upset. You know what I mean? If that happened to me. So the fact that it did, that interests me how that is a problem, right? For you guys, especially all your hard work, you go strong all year, and then based off of some technicality, dun, 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 you don't get to go. I could see how that really, really would sour someone's day. But I could totally see how having a CRM, which you can put in your members and which you can send out these types of, constant communications would keep somebody engaged, and hopefully it would affect your numbers in a way in which it doesn't hurt you. And you know what I mean? I guess all those little incentive is what makes it unique to partake with Legal Shield. You know what I mean? If you get a free vacation, vacations are expensive, you know? So to say that they would give you the opportunity to go to some place and all of that kind of stuff, but yet your numbers hurt you, I think that would totally sour my month, make me contemplate Legal Shield in a big question. So hopefully I think she was looking to sign up within the next, but then again, now is the holidays, so I really don't see anybody, you know, doing it. But now would be a good time if a lot of things are slow, right? Just because of the holidays. So if you guys have some projects, if you guys want to saturate my schedule and get in there and let's tackle some things while it's calm and, set up next year. My relationship with this one real estate lady, she did exactly that. There was a lot of things that she had me do that in her mind, she wasn't going to get an immediate benefit from. And this past year, she started reaping all kinds of stuff, right? So she started, I think last year or about 2 years ago, we kind of started think about newsletters and having kind of like constant contact with her past clients and all of that kind of stuff. And through those communications, she's been able, out of a list of like 500, 400 people, she's able to get to like 32, if not 30 plus deals this year alone, from when I think her average was like 11, 15, right? So that's got to be good for her to say that she was able to do double the business, right? I would have to say that she's having a spectacular year, you know? And small change, small change. There was also something I recommended and I didn't know I was going to, hit gold with it, which was she wanted just to get rid of a whole group of people just because they were silent, because they never did anything. And I was like, don't do that. Let's just put them into the corner, silent bucket them. And then if you have anything that you can share, you just throw it off into those people, not use text messaging, just use emails. And it was what? I think like a couple months ago, some guy out of that bucket reached out to her and was like, hey, can you help me with purchasing a home? And she did. And it was like that whole adventure, of not throwing those people away and putting them into a bucket served her a deal. And I'm pretty sure that commission probably pays for something. You know what I mean? I know it would totally cover Legal Shield, or not Legal Shield, but Fieldnotes for a while, right? And to know that now this major tool of yours is basically paid for, now it's just use it. And then I guess you could, put money into other tools and things like that. And so just something that I would like to share with you guys. But yeah, that's for me. Oh, we're not doing anything for this holiday. Thursday, I don't think we will have a Thursday Thanksgiving meeting, so everybody is off to enjoy it with their family. So I wish everybody that they have the best day that they possibly can. I'm going to do my best to celebrate Turkey Day down in Costa Rica. I might do tacos, but you know what I mean? We're still giving thanks. So, but
Jeremy,
yeah,
so what days are you going to be available
we
this week?
are
I
we
mean,
are
for
from
just
Monday
private
to
meetings.
Wednesday. Monday through Wednesday is when I'm
Okay,
in the
okay, gotcha.
office. Yeah. And so,
Okay.
but yeah. Have I sparked any other questions that you guys have? Or I would say book some time with me and then let's look at your situation specifically and tackle whatever it might be so that we can push the envelope. I hope everybody's doing good. So now is in Seattle, is it getting cold? Is that what Bob was saying? Bob, was it?
Oh, I think it's 40 something here, I believe.
Oh, but see, so I've been getting a bunch of people from Facebook saying we're safe. And I think it's like, was there a storm going through?
Yeah, we had a major storm come through, 2 people killed. There are people that's still without power a week later, and
Yeah.
some people are told it's going to be maybe another week before they get power back. Two
Oh
weeks
man.
out. A lot of trees down, very sporadic. So we're in Tacoma. You don't know the geographical areas, but we're in
Okay.
Tacoma, and there was virtually no. There
No
was
outage.
a moderate wind here, no damage, no nothing. The fire department that I worked with, Bellevue Fire Department,
Hmm.
that's where one of the fatalities was. And that situation was so unstable, they couldn't even though they could get in and determine that the person had died, they didn't feel that they could be there long enough to get the body out. And they had to wait till the next day to get back.
So what was it? Like fallen trees, like that?
70-mile-an-hour plus or minus winds, knocking down trees and
How many?
taking out power lines, etc.
70
Where are
mile
you at?
Washington.
Washington State.
Mm.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like so
So
Costa Rica's been taking water to where the land is so soft and gummy that it shit's just and then all of the like the beach sides and the Pacific, everything's like 3 feet, like up to the refrigerator in water for some people.
Mm.
So we've been taking on now myself, I can't complain because we're in the valley and I can understand why all of Costa Rica's land in the valley is expensive land. You know what I mean? Because it's the land that doesn't get affected by the most of all the like rain and earthquakes. It's for the most part it's pretty stable here, but it's those parts out in the other parts of the country, in the other provinces that really kind of get beat and I guess the land moves, you know what I mean? I guess with all the seismic things, it just kind of still be shifting. So but yeah, so that's interesting to hear that because for me losing power for a couple of days, it's not like we're used to it, but you kind of get used to it. So you know, you have your gas stoves, you got your little battery lights and things like that. And then I mean, yeah, so I kind of I can understand how people because it's not something usual that in my lifetime we've never gone out with power. You know what I mean? Even when it gets
well,
snowy and crazy, like you know, like what 20 years ago when I was a kid, up until like 19, I don't ever think there was like an outage in which we kind of felt it really bad. And so to see that, you know, people are getting hit, but I didn't know it was 70-mile-an-hour wind. That's crazy.
yeah, we're on the near edge of 80 in a couple of places at the state and did quite a bit of damage. And
And
then
that's
the other issue here is because we seldom get that kind of weather in town.
mhm,
Most people that are in town, and Patty and I just moved into a condo.
right.
There's no option. We have no natural gas in this building. We're not allowed to have propane in this building. So when the power goes out, you're done. You have no way to generate electricity. You're not allowed to have a generator. So
Well,
whatever's in the refrigerator and freezer is
that's
gone.
done. Right. Or you
And
got to eat it. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
gotta you
and
gotta
you got no
stock
way
up
to
like a
cook it
camel.
because you don't have any cooking facilities if you don't have electricity. So the good news for Patty and I is because we're still avid boaters, we have a boat. So
You've
as
hit the
long as
boat.
we can leave the condo and get to the boat, then we can do just about anything we need to do.
Oh man. Well, that's well, I guess convenient, yes, not convenient, right? You guys at least found an option to get by with it, but well, I wish everybody safe. It's not like that in like Arizona. Y'all are doing good.
Arizona is good.
Amen. Amen.
We have generators. We have just about anything you can think of. So
Well, that's good. Well, guys, I don't want to take up any more of your guys' time unless we've got something to discuss, but it was definitely a pleasure talking to you guys. And then if you guys have any issues, you know what I mean? You know where to find me. My links are always in my signature. So, and then if you didn't, you can always just email me at this there, that email address and phone number for whatever reason. I'm always here to help. And so it was definitely a pleasure, guys. You guys have a great day and stay safe.
and Estella, I put my calendar address in the chat as well. If you want to save that out again.
I did see that
Okay,
as
thank
well.
you very much. Okay,
All righty, guys. A pleasure. Ciao, ciao now.
ciao, ciao.
Take care, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving,
care.
everyone.
Yes,
Happy
happy
Thanksgiving.
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 Ciao, ciao.